So I moved from the UK to Australia at the age of 21, about 3 years ago now, and here is my honest thoughts on whether the life in Australia is better than the UK after living there for like 2 years. Here is my honest opinion from an expat that moved to Australia. Now, to answer the question straight away, is life in Australia better than the UK? Yes, definitely, in so many ways. However, there is some ways that it isn't better, which I'll go into in this video, and also explain the ways that it is so much better than living in the UK. For you guys who maybe want to move to Australia yourselves, or for you guys in Australia already, you can let me know your thoughts on my opinions after moving there. So let's start with some of the benefits of living in Australia compared to the UK. Number one, the wage. Australia has literally the best wage anywhere that I've been. The money is so good. I was getting paid such a good wage in Australia, which allowed me to live such an amazing life and also save some very decent money for just working a pretty simple job, really. The next thing goes without saying, it's the weather. Obviously the weather in Australia is amazing. If you want sun most days of the year, you want to be chilling on the beaches and living such an amazing outdoor lifestyle, the weather in Australia is 10 times better than the UK. Next up is the lifestyle. This goes hand in hand with the weather, and the lifestyle in Australia is literally amazing. Because the weather's so nice, everyone gets up at 6 AM in the morning and everyone's doing exercise. You're going down the beach after work. On your days off, you're swimming in the sea. You're just doing so much amazing stuff compared to back in the UK, where the only real lifestyle is going to the pub on the weekends, because most of the time the weather is terrible and there's not much to do. Next up is the scenery. Again, I don't really have to do much explaining on this one. The scenery in Australia is incredible. UK has some alright scenery, but compared to Australia, the comparison is crazy. The scenery in Australia is amazing. Such a big country as well, so you can see such a variety of stuff. Next positive is the safety and the cleanliness of Australia. The cities are so safe compared to cities like London, where the crime is awful. London is just pretty dirty and run down, whereas the cities in Australia are very, very well kept. A lot more modern and just very clean. And the last thing is the quality of life. The quality of life in Australia is so much better than the UK. This is basically everything included: the lifestyle, the weather, the safety. The cost of living I think is better, and obviously the wage. Overall, I think Australia offers a way better quality of life. Now, there is one positive of the UK. Just one. For me, like I said, if you make a list of the positives of the UK and the positives of Australia, the positives of Australia is so long. The positives of the UK is not long. There's literally one thing, and that is people, friends, family, and just English people in general. To me, that's one of the only positives of the UK. Obviously all my friends and family are back there, so that's the biggest positive of the UK. Also, just being around British people is nice. Don't get me wrong, Australians are very nice, but to me, that we don't have as good of a connection. And to be honest, it's the only thing about the UK which sometimes I do miss, is the people and friends and family, because you don't have that abroad, and it's one of the only things that is better about the UK. And here is a little bit of a situation that we've got. To any backpackers, travelers, English people living in Australia that are watching, you might have the same problem that we've got right now, and it is that we know that Australia is such a better life. We know it's a better lifestyle. We know life in Australia is so much better than what it is in the UK, but because all our friends and family are back home, it makes it hard to whether we'd ever want to live there permanently, because after living there for 2 years, it showed me how difficult it actually is to make close friends. And obviously when it comes to like having a family and kids and stuff, it's kind of difficult if you're just living somewhere like on your own. So to any other English travelers that are watching, do you agree? Are you in the same situation where you know Australia is a better life, but is it going to be too hard being away from everyone permanently? I know that being away just temporarily for a few years, it's like stops me worrying about that. If it was a permanent move, I don't know if I suddenly start missing everyone, because it will be hard having to move to a new country and you know, start a whole life with friends and stuff. When it's temporary, you can kind of enjoy it as sort of like a little bit of a holiday. If I could honestly move everyone from the UK to Australia, I'd probably never go back to the UK ever again. But obviously that's not the case. It's pretty difficult for everyone to move over there. So the easiest thing one day will be to go back. I just hope that the UK sorts its shit out before we decide to go back. But yeah, I won't get onto that today. I think realistically we'll probably go back to the UK at some point, but we're not sure just yet. Definitely happy living abroad and cannot wait to go back to Australia before we go to the UK anyway. So if you are looking at moving to Australia from the UK, I would definitely do it for sure. Whether it's a permanent move or a temporary move, it's the best thing you can do, and there were so many benefits of moving. I highly recommend that you do the same. If you do need help with moving, I've done loads of videos on moving to Australia, as well as this I've released a full moving abroad guide as well. That's in the description. It takes you through every step you might know so you don't miss any crucial information. And yeah, that's it for today's video. Australia lifestyle is better than the UK, simple as that, but it's complicated when it comes to staying there. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you very soon with another video.